Greetings one and all, this is Rhythm Works and welcome to my channel with some more Destiny. Let me see, what action is this? What the hell are we playing? What are we doing here? What is life? What is the meaning of life? Well, as you can see, we're doing a mission, me and my brother Mac Assassin, on Mars, and I want to talk about the subject of trolls. And it's a general subject. It is minorly subjective, but it's a general subject. Now, what is a troll? Well, my understanding of it, I'm not even going to use the term or the definition used in a dictionary. I'm using my definition of it, because trolls and trolling are relative. You know, different people use different types of trolling in order for them to be a troll, if you like. So I cannot actually put all trolls in one box. So my definition, I think, of a troll is an online agitator, for want of a better word. Because whatever they're gonna basically say to whoever is going to kind of agitate. And sometimes the agitation might even be in a positive way, believe it or not. Now, me personally, I'm not a troll. It's an easy habit to get into, but I think a hard habit to maintain, unless you're just a fucking nasty person to begin with. That way, it's probably much easier. But for some people, the general consensus of people who are more or less, I don't know, decent within themselves, are not trollers or trolls, whatever you want to call them. And you have different types of trolls as well. You have the very minor league trolls where they make comments to whatever, sometimes witty, sometimes bitchy, sometimes sarcastic, sometimes all three in the one statement. You know, it all depends. The fact of the matter is as well is that everyone is going to be subjected to trolls. Everyone. I don't care. I don't care how big your blog is, how big your YouTube channel is, how small it is. You know, sometimes you can just be trolled just for being a nice person. And that is the reality of the situation. Trolling is never, ever, ever going to go away. All trolling has basically done has revealed to the wider world how people behave behind closed doors. And it's the anonymity of being behind a virtual closed door that enables people to behave the way they would behave in private, but now in public, in the safety of knowing that they're not going to get bitch slapped by the people that they troll, because no one knows people's backgrounds and what have you, and sometimes how we portray ourselves is not necessarily 100% true. And by that I mean, from a personal perspective, how I not even so much portray myself, but the way how I act online, especially when it comes to gaming. It's made me somewhat a social creature, but also a person that has no time for fuckeries. I just have no time for fuckeries in general, or bullshit. You know what I'm saying? It's like, if I recognize it as bullshit, it's bullshit. And it's what it is. And sometimes you can get trolled for that, you know. I'm fortunate enough to not have trollers. I keep saying trollers. I'm fortunate enough not to have much trolls. And if I do, they're more or less like the silent minority where, you know, they will dislike a video or two or three or four. They don't give no reason. And, you know, I'm past that. I'm over that, you know. But for me, I'm begging the question, well, what is the point in trolls? What is the point in trolling? Well, it's just simply just to, I don't know, virtually keep some people in check, I suppose. Because like I said, it's like it doesn't matter what information or content you put up online, you are always going to have a troll at some point. Even if you put up content that is non-offensive to nobody on this planet, you're still going to have trolls because they just don't fucking like that, you know. Even if the creator of this world had a YouTube channel, they'll still have people disliking what the creator has done, what the creator has given us and given him back in return. Do you know what I mean? So that's the reality of it. Trolls is here to stay forever until technology implodes on its fucking self, which it's gonna do, you know, not in my lifetime, but it will. Anyway, the minorly subjective aspect of this video was in response to a response from a video that I put up, which was PS4 Parties with No Manners Part 2, where I was just talking about simple PSN etiquette and how people just don't have no manners in, not even so much introducing me to fellow gamers in parties and what have you, but the very fact that because of that, the people or person in question feeling that they can talk to me how they want to talk to me and them not knowing me to begin with basically irked me to the point where I used very strong and colourful language. And the language that I used was more or less at the end of the video because I was pissed off. It's a human trait that is in all of us. When somebody pisses you off, some people will basically cuss. Some people will punch them in the fucking mouth. Some people will take a gun and shoot them. Some people will basically stab someone to death. It's the reality of what basically happens, you know, in situations like that. And online, I'm no different, but I rather cuss you out. It saves a lot of jail time. Do you know what I mean? And that is basically it. And this person whose username is, and I kid you not, suck balls. So looking at that, he's trying to, well, I already know that I've crushed his bunions already. Do you know what I mean? Because he's trying to freaking send me a message with a point. And this person basically stated that there's a whiff of hypocrisy going on with you. Maybe you need to take 10 minutes to self-reflect. So I took 30 seconds. And in those 30 seconds, I went into Suckball's profile. And as usual, the thing with these freaking trolls is that most of them, not all, most of them have to create a Google Plus account just to reply to the subject matter. I found it amazing for the very fact that that video, falling down the gully there, that video that I put up had the most views for the videos that I put up that week. And it was amazing how a lot of people inclined themselves to that video. Whereas the other videos I was talking about with, you know, relative gaming news and what have you, didn't have much views at all. Why was that? I don't know, and I really don't care. It's there for when people stumble across it. But when I make a video that basically states that there is some strong language, lots of people gravitate to it. And I know who gravitated to the video because it was just a word of mouth thing coming from a PSN friend or two saying, oh yeah, Ridden's put up a video about blah, 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 blah. They've all gone and watched the video. They've told somebody else, and they watched the video and this and that. So now it's come to the point now where, where this person Suck balls, right? Created a Google Plus account like 5 days freaking later to give me that very articulate comment. Now, the one thing with me is that I don't replace common sense with intellect or articulation of the English language. Do you know what I mean? It's like common sense is common sense, period. Now, if you're gonna basically be articulate with your message and you're gonna call yourself suck balls, I've got no time for you. Got no fucking time for you whatsoever. So I already know that I've already crushed your fucking bunion. And to that I just simply replied, what the fuck took you so long? Keep sucking. Blocked, delete his ass. Because those people, I just ain't got no time for them. If he had called himself the better man, for example, then he could try and basically tell me a message and make a point at the same time. That's why I know that he replaced common sense with intellect, and it just wasn't working. So I already knew that I fucking crushed his bunion. So, and with that, I know the person, I know who it was that left the message, because just by the way the person articulated himself, I know who that person is. So, and for the very fact he had to create a Google Plus account that very day to send me a message in his feeble attempt to more or less try and troll me. But I've got to admit, you know, it wasn't a full-on troll. It was a cheap troll. But I respect anyone that has anything to basically say. But it's perfectly obvious that they don't watch all my videos to completely get the type of person that I am. I do not hide the fact that, you know, that I am affected by rude fucking people, man. Not only them being rude to me, but them just being rude to other people. The last internet beef I ever had with anybody on this YouTube thing was simply down to one person who was my friend, who was a very popular YouTuber. Not gonna mention his name. You know, he was complaining about the fact that he's only got fucking 5,000 subs to begin with. Then he was talking about, you know, him having his account suspended because he was calling people nigger and this and that and this and that and yada yada yada. And then all of his brethren, them, what they would basically do without thinking is actually like his videos and don't even watch the videos. And that kind of pissed me off. And in turn, it kind of pissed me off with some of his circle of friends, and that's when the whole beef more or less started. Do you know what I'm saying? You know, but we've gone past that. They've gone past that. They basically moved on. Do you know what I mean? You know, I don't have to like it to respect what you do. Do you know what I mean? That's my thing. So I respect what you do. You know, and that's the last real big internet beef I've ever had with anybody. And the thing, and also, is that even while all that was happening, you know, those commentators, fans and subscribers, they laid into me as well, you know, and I can only respect that because they're loyal to them. Do you know what I mean? But the bottom line at the end of the day with this whole YouTube thing in general is that no matter how many subscribers you have, no matter how many dear friends you have on this thing, let me tell you something real straight. When it comes to life and death situations, none of us fucking figures. If you're in a situation where you're getting your house repossessed, right, because you can't fucking pay the bills on time, you can't pay the mortgage, we don't figure, right? You know, if your wife's in hospital and what have you, having a serious operation, life and death, we don't freaking figure. And that's not in a bad way. It's just the reality of freaking life. Life just places more importance than fucking video games. Do you know what I'm saying? And that's all there is to it. That's the one thing that binds us together as YouTube commentators, is our love for video games or whatever other interest there is in the world. There is always a community for that. I have some respect for trolls. And the trolls I'm basically talking about is the trolls that make trolling a cottage industry. I'm talking about people who troll for a living. And I'm not saying the trolls who abuse people or disrespect people who are being racist or homophobic to people. I'm talking from a specific gaming perspective, because there are some entertaining trolling channels about the place, and they simply troll in the context of people who game in, let's say, an unsportsmanlike fashion, right? Those are the trollers or trolls that I like to watch. They entertain me to no end, you know. But with trolls who just simply have nothing good to say and no grasp of the fucking English language and uses pussy, nigger, faggot, wigger, all of these and more as their main base of vocabulary with nothing else to expand it with, I've got no fucking time for them. And I'm so glad that Google Plus has just enabled me to just press one button. It doesn't even say block, it says ban. I embrace my delete button when them freaking knobheads are concerned, I swear to God, you know. But in terms of troll and trolling, there's varying degrees of it. Do you know what I'm saying? It's not a black and white thing when it comes to me and trolls, because some people can use it for good. Like hacking, you know, it's not a black and white thing. People can, you know, utilize their skills in hacking for good as well as bad. It's just how the world is. It's as simple as that, you know. But you know, I got time for trolls. I really do. I have time for trolls, but I'm very quick in speed reading their heads. Do you know what I'm saying? By what they write. People can prepare what they need to write, and to a certain extent, in turn, when they are YouTube commentators, they can script their shit as well to make themselves sound professional, you know. But me, I use ums and ahs and you knows and basically and certain other terms like that repetitively, because in this situation, that's how I talk. If I talk to you face to face, I might not use those terms and those words or those kind of pauses a lot, because it's kind of hard for me to be talking to myself when in turn I'm potentially talking to a lot of people. But that's just how it is. I just like what I do, you know. But in life, you just learn that whatever you do, even if you try to give a solution to world freaking peace, there's still gonna be people who's gonna troll your ass for that. And that's just the simplistic crux of the whole matter with that. Oh shit. Yeah, that's just the simplistic nature of people's temperament, you know. And sometimes people who behave like that online, some of the people who can give the most bitchiest, nastiest comments, in reality, they might be decent people, but we're never going to know that. You're never gonna know that, because you don't know where they live. You probably know which country they live, you know, and if you go that deep, you can go into their IP address and all that kind of shit. But who's gonna fucking take a plane or a train to go in there and fucking talk to them and try and talk some sense into them? Or give them a bitch slap or beat them down, depending on what kind of temperament you have. Do you know what I'm saying? It's like, you know, it's just, it just doesn't work like that, ladies and gentlemen. So, you know, it's like that good old saying, you only have one chance to make a good impression. And to be fair, you know, I do give people a good couple of chances to redeem themselves, because sometimes you meet people online and you don't get off to a good start. But then as you talk and talk and talk and relate, you know, you get to have a understanding of the person, you know, even the person's fault, you get to have an understanding of that. And sometimes the person just want to cuss people out, because even though he's tried to be amiable with other people, he's had trolls cuss him out and shit like that. So it's kind of turned him into that, which is perfectly natural. That does happen, you know. Some, you know, trolls aren't born trolls. It's a learned behavior. Do you know what I'm saying? And in gaming, it's, you know, in particular, I just don't talk and behave like that with people on road. It's just unnatural for me to do that. But in the gaming circle, it's just so competitive, you know, and so testosterone filled with broadcasters. Do you know what I'm saying? That it helps to provide that atmosphere and that climate and that environment. You know what I'm saying? Where dick measuring contests are more or less the staple thing that goes on in these freaking games. You know what I'm saying? Or on these channels rather. So for me, trolls are what they are to whoever. You know, trolls for me are people that have something to say. You know, some are cool people, some are very witty, you know, some has mastered the art of sarcasm, you know, and some are just downright fucking rude and ignorant, you know. And if you can help some of these trolls to look into themselves, that's cool. And I suppose in a way that kind of wraps it up, because that's exactly what this troll suggested to me, to look into myself. But the thing is that I just don't have to. I just don't have to, because my name is Rhythmworks, not Suck Dick or Suck Balls. Do you know what I mean? So what is there for me to learn from somebody who call themselves Suck Balls? But anyway, that's enough for me for now. And as usual, you know the coup. Whatever the platform, whatever the game, whatever the console, whatever the media, whatever the genre. If I repeat that already, I don't even know. But happy gaming. And until I catch you guys on the next one, my God, let me just kill some of these mofos real quick. Any more? Any more? Yeah, let me do this one here right here. Yeah, hope you like toast, bitch. Anyway, my God. Watch the ride.